You hired someone to love your children. She showed up, she was perfect. Somewhere between her 3rd week folding your laundry and her 4th week knowing exactly how your husband takes his coffee. Something felt wrong. Not wrong enough to act on. Just wrong enough to keep you awake at 3 in the morning, staring at the ceiling, wondering why a stranger feels so familiar. This is our story. What we uncovered goes deeper than a jealous ex. This was calculated, patient, years in the making. The most terrifying part is that we almost never figured it out at all. Let me take you back to the beginning. My husband Daniel and I have been searching for a nanny for about 6 weeks. We have 3 kids, ages 4, 7, and 9. Our schedules had reached a point where we genuinely needed consistent, reliable help in our home. We interviewed 14 people. We ran background checks, called references, did 2-stage interviews, the whole process. We were not careless people. We were not naive. Hold on to that, because later you might think we should have seen the signs. We couldn't. That was by design. Her name, she told us, was Claire Hendricks. She was 34, had 3 years of professional nanny experience, a pediatric first aid certification, glowing letters of recommendation, and an energy around children that was immediately, undeniably warm. My kids gravitated toward her within the first 15 minutes. My 9-year-old, notoriously slow to trust, was laughing before the afternoon was over. Daniel and I exchanged that look across the kitchen, the look that means we both already know. We hired her. The first several weeks were extraordinary. She was organized, intuitive, kind, and she seemed to anticipate what was needed before anyone asked. The kids adored her. The house ran smoother. I felt guilty for how much relief I felt. Like maybe I should have been managing everything better on my own. But Claire made it feel easy and I let myself breathe. Here is where it gets uncomfortable. About a month in, I started noticing small things. The way she'd sometimes glance at Daniel and then immediately look away when I was watching. The way she remembered very specific details about his preferences that neither of us had told her. She bought the exact brand of sparkling water he drinks, without being asked. Just started keeping it stocked. Little things. Invisible things. Things you could dismiss individually without a second thought. I dismissed them. Individually. One by one. Then came the night that changed everything. We were at a dinner with Daniel's college friends. Someone brought up the past in the way people do when they've had a few glasses of wine. An old friend mentioned a girl he dated seriously. Someone named Kara. Daniel visibly stiffened. I'd heard the name before, but only vaguely. He described her once, years ago, as his first real heartbreak. Someone who ended things suddenly and completely. No explanation. She just vanished from his life. I didn't think about Claire that night. Why would I? But 3 days later, I was going through some old photographs Daniel had in a storage box. The kind of box you never actually organize but never throw away either. And there she was. A girl in a faded photograph from what looked like a high school summer. Younger, different hair, different everything, but the eyes. The specific shape of the eyes and the way she smiled slightly more on the left side than the right. I sat on the floor of our closet for a very long time. I know what you might be thinking. That I jumped to a conclusion. That 2 people can have similar features. That I was stressed and reading into things. I thought all of that too. I am not someone who creates drama. I went looking for reasons I was wrong before I let myself believe I might be right. So I did something methodical. I started quietly, carefully comparing. I pulled every piece of information Claire had given us. I started verifying it independently. I didn't tell Daniel yet. I needed to be certain before I put that weight on him. Her references checked out at first. But when I called one of them back with a very specific question, there was a pause. A pause that lasted just a beat too long. The woman on the phone didn't remember a detail she absolutely should have remembered. When I pressed gently, she became flustered. She wasn't lying maliciously. She was someone who had agreed to vouch for a friend, without fully understanding what she was endorsing. Her certification was real. Her legal name was not. Claire Hendricks was a name she had used professionally. Her given name, the name she was born with, was Kara. The same Kara, 15 years later, in our home, caring for our children, knowing exactly how my husband likes his coffee.
When I finally sat down with Daniel, I watched something break open on his face in a way I had never seen before. Not just shock, something older.
The discomfort of being revisited by a chapter he thought was permanently closed. He had genuinely had no idea.
I believed him then, and I believe him now. She had changed enough. Time had changed enough.
She was not someone he expected to encounter in this context, in this version of his life, in this role.
We had to make decisions very quickly about how to handle what came next.
We contacted a lawyer.
We documented everything.
And then we had a conversation with her that I honestly never expected to have in my kitchen on a Tuesday morning. She didn't deny it.
That was the part I wasn't prepared for.
She sat across from me and she didn't deny a single thing. She said she had followed his life from a distance for years.
She knew about our marriage, our children, our neighborhood.
When she saw the listing for the nanny position, she said something that I still hear sometimes when I'm trying to fall asleep. She said it felt like a door being left open. I'm not going to dramatize her motivations or diagnose what drove her to this.
I don't actually know what she wanted. I don't think she fully knew either. But I know what she built.
She built a false identity. She crafted references.
She studied my husband enough to mirror his preferences.
She placed herself at the center of our family's daily life with extraordinary patience and discipline. Whether the goal was reconnection or disruption, or something she couldn't even name, the architecture of what she constructed was deliberate.
She left our home that same day.
We have since spoken with a family therapist who has helped us process this experience. Our children were protected from the details and are doing well. The legal situation is ongoing, and I'll update when I'm able to.
But here is what I actually want to leave you with, because I didn't come here just to tell you a story.
I came here because this experience dismantled something in me and rebuilt it slightly differently.
We talk a lot about trust and intuition, but we don't talk enough about how masterfully some people can perform trustworthiness. We don't talk about how the checklist, the background check, the references, the interview, all of it can be passed.
By someone patient and motivated enough. Your instincts are not paranoia, that quiet feeling that something is slightly off. Even when you cannot name it, even when everything on paper is fine, that feeling deserves your attention.
I ignored mine for weeks because I was embarrassed to take it seriously.
Because I thought I was being insecure or suspicious without cause. I want you to take yours seriously. That's genuinely the most important thing I can tell you. If you've ever had an experience where someone wasn't who they presented themselves to be inside, a space that was supposed to be safe, I really want to hear from you in the comments. And if someone you care about needs to hear this story, please share it with them. Stay safe.